hi.
Hi, I'm Kama. So Christa, I was saying to Jon, I think it's way more fun having the kids involved, even though I know it's chaotic. My kid just bounce around everywhere, so it's totally fine. It makes it fun.
I don't think she can see them anyway right now.
Thank you for joining me. And I know everybody's busy, and I hope you guys are doing well in this crazy time of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We're doing.
Yeah. It's very bizarre. I'm working from home right now as a teacher. But I'll kind of just reintroduce myself. I'm Kama, and I'm a teacher, I'm a blogger, and I'm thrilled to be working with the Hometown Heroes Lottery. That's how we're connected. And when I first heard your story as a wife and as a mom, oh my goodness, it brought tears to my eyes, and it kind of made my spine tingle. It's truly an inspirational, touching story. So Jon, I was wondering, briefly, if you'd be able to just share what brought us here. Why are we talking today?
Well, basically, I was doing a fireworks show at Saratoga Speedway on the island, and basically had a race car land on me and put me in the hospital for quite a long time, and now we're here and getting better.
Awesome. And Christa, I mean, that was a tragic experience. You were 8 months pregnant at the time?
8 months, yes.
Yep. And you unexpectedly went into labor when Jon was flown to, Jon, you were flown to VGH?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so we were waiting for him at the hospital. Yep. And yeah, I started just feeling little contractions, and I thought nothing of it, and then they started to get a little more consistent. Caden, you're not cooperating with this program here.
Totally fine. My audience is moms, we get it.
Yeah. So we were in the hospital. It was about 3 a.m. or so, because they said he would arrive at around 2 to 3. So we went to the hospital, and slowly but surely, and then I thought, well, they're pretty consistent. So I started timing them, and they were about anyway. So grandma, mom, if they could just check me out, nervousness, obviously, excitement, stress. Yeah. So they got me all dressed up and put me in a bed, and sure enough, it was beginning. So I was due to have the baby in Langley, and I said I was going to wait there, obviously, until he was flown in. It was a rough night, so they couldn't even helicopter him in. They had to fly him in, land him at the airport, then ambulance over. I think he got there around 7, 8 in the morning. And then, we seen him in pretty rough shape. And then, we spent a couple minutes after surgery, and they took me in an ambulance to Langley to go give birth.
Wow. So
and then he was born actually the next day.
Wow. So the quote that got me the most, I think, was when you were holding your husband's hand when he was in a coma, and you were feeling the contractions. You said, and I'm quoting, "We're going to make it through this one way or another."
Pretty much.
Wow. In reflection, where do you think that inner strength came from?
I don't know. I think you're just life put in a position, and you just got to do what you can while you're in the moments of it happening, and hope for the best, I guess. And I just had, just wanted to put everything positive forward to make him come back.
Wow. I love that. And I think we never know how strong we can be until we have to be.
Absolutely. No, that is a true fact in life for anybody. I think that is definitely for sure.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing this. And if you guys could talk to or thank the team of 10 physicians that saved Jon's life, what would you guys say to them?
Big thank you to being with. If it wasn't for them, I don't think he would be here. I mean,
Thank you for being there.
Yeah, thank you for what they do. And I know. Thank you for just being there, doing what they do. And if it wasn't for them, like you said, he probably wouldn't be here. So they have a specialty for a reason, and that is the reason, to bring people back to us in this kind of a case.
Thank you. Jon, do you have anything to share that you'd like to say to the physicians at VGH?
No, I they're, like I said, they spent, all the years in schooling and and going through it all to learn it and stuff, and then you know, to be there and do what they do is, you know, quite remarkable, right? You know, and now they're facing this COVID issue, right, which is a whole other story, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you. And another part that really stood out to me was the fact that, Christa, you waited 1 month to name Caden. You waited until Jon woke up from the coma.
Yes, it was
Can you
actually
guys tell me about that?
just over 2 weeks. We actually had a few names kind of pegged down. Caden was actually not really even on the list, funnily enough. But so yeah, we had a couple names. If it wouldn't have been for him waking up and had to be named, it was about, well, I think just over 2 weeks he woke up. So it wasn't quite a month. But yeah, so I know they give you 30 days to do his birth certificate. So if it would have been any longer, we would have just named him. It wouldn't have been Caden, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, he woke up in time and was able to, we named them together. So we named him Caden.
That's awesome. So Jon, can you just tell me about when you first met Caden and what naming him, what that experience was like for you?
Well, I think the biggest thing is when I kind of came out of the coma and they told me that he was born. I mean, that was good, right? And you know, I wanted to make sure everything was okay, right? And found out that it was all good. So that was a big relief, right? And then them meeting, right? I was just waiting for that day to come, and then when she brought him in and put him in my arms, you know, that was quite crazy.
Yeah, that's really, you know, it's a tremendous story. And my last question for you guys is, if you could say something, or if some people are thinking or sitting on the fence about whether or not they should buy a Hometown Heroes lottery ticket, what would you say to them? Like, how does Hometown Heroes help patients and families like you?
Well, it helps obviously large without donations and without the help and the equipment and everything they need. Saving lives is definitely it. And until you're there in it and experience it, you don't realize how much it is a help. So I would say, even though you haven't experienced it, from someone who has experienced it, and to know what it is worth to have that equipment and that funding to help someone save a life, it is very important.
Yeah, no, it's big. My mom has always gotten a ticket every year before this even happened, and now that it has, it definitely makes that, that equipment to be there, right? Up to date equipment to save your life. I mean, who knows? Maybe if they hadn't had one of the pieces of equipment, maybe I wouldn't have been here, right? So we bought a ticket last year. We're going to buy a ticket this year, but you never think, oh, it'll never be me, and whatnot, and then all of a sudden, boom, it is you.
One day it's you.
It's you, and it changes in a blink of the eye. Right? I mean, I've done lots of fireworks shows over there throughout the year, throughout the time, and it had just become a normal weekend. Just head on over to the island, do the fireworks show, come home, and carry on with life. And that weekend, not so much.
Yeah, we just never know.
Change your life altogether.
Absolutely.
For the moment, and now obviously, I mean, he's disabled for life, and so limitations are there and whatnot. But he's walking and he's here, and that's the most important part.
That's awesome. And just to end off on a positive note, Caden is now 19 months old. Yes. And I asked Jon earlier, but what's his favorite? Tell me a little bit about Caden. What are his favorite things?
Well, he loves the outdoors for sure. He's always wanting to be out. Right now, it's a kind of a hard time, but we do get him out on daily walks. So yeah, outside, he totally loves
he's
that.
He's an outdoor kid for sure.
For sure, I think he's born to be an outdoor baby. So
which is good because we do a lot of camping and boating and stuff. So
yeah, which is extra important as we're stuck at home.
Yeah.
And he loves hash browns.
Yep.
Has hash browns, like he doesn't have it every morning, he's not happy.
That's his thing. Yeah. So he's a very good boy. He's a good sleeper. He's been basically sleeping through the night since he was like 4 months old straight.
Goes to bed at 8 p.m. wakes up at 8 a.m.
Yeah. So he has his moments, but what's that?
So you deserve to have an easy baby after all of that.
Absolutely. That's what I always say. I said if he wasn't and it was, I don't know how I would have made it, because basically I was 6 months all by myself. So I stayed at my sister's for the first month and a half, 2, and then came home because I knew I had to start some kind of a system by myself. But yeah, no, it was definitely a lot, and was really glad when he came home for sure.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's truly touching and inspirational. If people want to buy a Hometown Heroes Lottery ticket, they can go to heroeslottery.com, and there are 9 gorgeous prize homes. I'm actually touring the White Rock home this afternoon. So
oh, cool. Yeah, well, we'll definitely be buying one ourselves as well. So.
Yeah, for sure, right? And I mean,
and keep moving forward,
yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing, again, your inspirational, touching story. And I hope to meet you guys in person sometime when this is all over.
That would be great,
sure,
for sure.
For sure.
You want to quickly say bye,
Say bye, Caden? Come here, bud.
Come say bye.
Come say bye.
I love it.
Can you say bye?
Real fast.
Can you give a kiss?
Say bye. Look
Can you give a kiss? Look kiss. Can you say bye?
There you go. Good boy.
Oh my gosh.
All right. You take care.
Take care.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.